All right, welcome back, pre-algebra class, to another episode of Mr. Chow Time. I'm a little bit out of practice at this, so let's hope this is smooth. We're starting a new unit, expressions and equations. This is the first lesson, the distributive property, on page 292, if you're following along in the book. So, what is an expression? Let's start with that. An expression is just on what's on one side of the equal sign in an equation. So, for example, 2x plus 4 equals 6. I don't like this color. This is an expression, and this is an expression. When two or more expressions have the same value, then they're equivalent expressions, right? So these two are equivalent expressions because they are equal to each other. They have the same value, right? So if you solve both sides of this, they would be the same. The distributive property, you'll remember the distributive property from when we did arithmetic that looked like this. 2 times 3 plus 2 equals. So what is this? Well, we can add what's on the inside together first and multiply, and that would be 5 times 2 would be 10, right? Or we can distribute. 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 2 is 4, and that would also give you 10, right? And that's the distributive property. So both of these ideas should be ideas that you've seen before, but we're just putting names to for this unit. All right. So let's take a look at the distributive property and how we use it. So we have an expression here, right? This is everything that's on one side of the equal sign. So we want to find an equivalent expression, which means basically what's on the other side of the equal sign, right? So what does this equal? And we're going to use a distributive property. Well, 5 times 12 is 60. And to that, we're going to add 5 times 4, which is 20. So that's 80. 80 is an equivalent numeric expression or equivalent expression. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to get on my calculator because that's how I roll. 8.2 times 20 is 164. And we're going to subtract. We're going to subtract 8.2 times 3, which is 24.6. And then we'll just subtract one from the other, and that gives us 139.4. All right, pretty simple, right? Just multiply the first number, you multiply the second number, and then you do the operation that it tells you to do in the middle. Okay. Why don't you have a go at it? Welcome back. All right. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12. That's 36. Well done. Well done. Let's try it again. 3/4 of 9 minus 2. Welcome back. 3/4 times 9 is 27 over 4, right? And we're going to subtract, is that 27? Yeah. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 over 4. 27 minus 6 is 21 over 4. Why does that not feel right? It is, though, I'm pretty sure. 21 over 4. You can leave it like that, or you can write it as a mixed number, and that would be 5 1/4. Either of these answers I would take. All right. The distributive property can also be used to help people do mental math. So, for example, if you cannot do 7 times 32 in your head, then what you can do is you can do 7 times 30 and 7 times 2. And that would maybe be a little bit easier. So 7 times 30 is 210. 7 times 2 is 14. 210 plus 14 is 224. So you see, just did that in my head. Dang. Let's see if I'm actually right. 210 plus 14. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Wow. Didn't make a mistake that time. How wonderful. For example, let's say that we're going on a field trip to Taichung because I want to take you to Li Pao Discovery Land. You know, that big amusement park? Some of you may have been there. I have not yet, so, I want to go. And let's say the tickets cost $899. And I want to find the cost for 20 students. Well, $899 is kind of a difficult number to multiply by. So instead of doing that, I can multiply 20 by 900 and 20 by 1. And that would be much easier, right? 20 by 900 is 18,000. And then 18,000, we're going to subtract 20 from that. 20 times 1 is 20. And that is 17,980. Look at that. We just did it. We're so good. And look, we could be riding this roller coaster. Isn't that pretty cool? Okay, your turn. Welcome back. Spaghetti dinner costs $1,025. What does it cost for 4 people? If the 4, me and maybe my family, we go to Piccolo. What a good restaurant. Have you guys been there? We should go there if you haven't been. 1,025 times 4, right? Well, instead of multiplying 1,025, we can just multiply 1,025, right? So this is 4,000, and this is 100. So that's 4,100. Okay. I feel like this is still a little bit too thick. Let's try that. An expression can also be used algebraically. So remember, this class is pre-algebra, right? So we're learning about this idea of using variables instead, or when we don't know the number of something. So let's say we have this expression, and we have this expression, and we know that they're equivalent expressions. Well, what we can do is we can put a value into x and solve each one to see if it's actually an equivalent expression. Because what it's saying is that these two things are equal. So we can put something into x. For example, let's say that x is equal to 2. So then we would put 2 into x. So that would be 2 times 2, right? Because x equals 2 plus 4. And so that's 4 plus 4 is 8. And then we would do the same thing over here. 2 times 2 plus 8. Oh, I didn't do this correctly. It wouldn't be a chow time if there wasn't a mistake in there, right? Okay, so let's try that again. X equals 2. So this would be 6. 6 times 2 is 12. And then here we have 4 plus 8, and that also equals 12. So yes, these are equivalent expressions. That's one way that we can figure it out. Okay. So let's say we have these two. Use the distributive property to write each expression as an equivalent algebraic expression. We want to write this in another way. So 4 times x and 4 times 5. We're distributing this, right? And so this is 4x plus 20. 4 times x is 4x. That's 4 x's. 4 times 5 is 20. So this is an equivalent expression to this one. And we can check that by putting a number into x. So let's say we put the number 2 again. 2 plus 5 is 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 20 is 28. Yes, these are equivalent expressions. Okay, so let's do it over here again. 6 times y is 6y. 6 times 10 is 60. And the operation we have in the middle here is plus, so these are going to be added together. Simple as that. Okay, your turn. Use the distributive property to write an equivalent expression again. Welcome back. Okay, 2.4a plus 12. And then here we have 3b plus 18. All right. Here's your must do. 294 to 295 odd. Have a go at it. Goodbye, y'all.